Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to get right into the Pulsar X2 Crazylight. It's going to be a full rundown of what you need to know about this particular mouse. The size and dimensions are exactly the same as the X2 Mini. So I'll show you guys the dimensions and the mouse, how it looks next to the regular size. But for my size hands, which are a little over 21.5, it's definitely more of a fingertip mouse with more inner hand maneuverability. It's obviously going to feel more flat in comparison and a little bit more narrow than the regular size, which I can get a bit more palm contact with because it's higher, it's longer, and a little bit wider. For me, I always kind of stray back to the medium, and you guys can go and look at the prior videos on both of those if you want to know more about how I feel about the size and dimensions. But what you need to know about the X2 Crazylight is that this thing is really just a full redesign on the internals of the mouse. Coming in at 39 grams from the original weight, which was significantly higher with full-size skates, and I'll show you guys the weight once we take those skates off. But you can see it's kind of like the HitScan Hyperlight that had the drilled holes in the PCB that you guys will see when we open this up as well. But this mouse coming in at 39 grams with full-size skates, I can say this build quality is bar none some of the best I've had on this lightweight of a mouse. I cannot get this shell to budge at all. Whatever they've done on the inside, which we'll look at again in a second, this thing is just not flexing at all with a lot of force. So you love to see it, that the build quality matches what one wants out of a solid performing mouse. The mouse does come with an 8K dongle. The dongle is a see-through translucent dongle, at least the one that came with my copy. Looks really cool, same size as the prior Pulsar dongles, but the main changes here are going to be the resistance and tensioning system on mouse 1 and mouse 2, and the Pulsar opticals, a new switch from Pulsar. They say it's not an Omron optical, and it definitely doesn't sound as light and pingy as an Omron optical. It has a really nice tactile feedback, very spammable, like super, super fast. And one thing that's really nice is it's also really comfortable in terms of the implementation with the resistance and the tensioning and the switch. It's just, I think, a better switch than Omron optical, at least in the implementations that I've had to date. So whatever they've done here on mouse 1 and mouse 2, just exceptionally well done. And the best clicks to date on a Pulsar mouse, hands down. Now, mouse 1 and mouse 2, in terms of build quality, I can get the plastic to flex during a build quality test, but in-game, I never felt the plastic moving, and I never felt any switch grind over those opticals. Really nice, buttoned up and tight experience with the buttons. Side buttons feel super nice, just a bit of pre-travel and a bit of post-travel, but nothing that would ever lead me astray in-game. There's no flex when I'm hitting it on the sides of mouse 4 and mouse 5, and just super crisp, super spammable. Give you guys a sound test now of the switches, how they're implemented in the Pulsar Crazylight. And I've got the mouse open now. You guys can see we've got a 200 mAh battery here on the bottom that is placed there, I'm sure, to distribute the weight with the PCB wheel and switches. There are precision holes underneath the 200 mAh battery and as well at the top portion of the shell where the skates are as well. Precision holes in the PCB as well as near the side buttons. And I will show you guys a close-up of those switches. It looks like we've got the Pulsar Blue encoder still, but let's get you guys a close-up of those new Pulsar switches. And the mouse with 4 Silver Fox dots comes in at 36 grams. The mouse is coming in at $120, but that does include the 8K dongle. The weight balance feels great, and in-game performance with Pulsar sensor, I had 0 issues in terms of any sensor hiccups, any radio frequency type issues. 8K battery does drain faster. It is only a 200 mAh, but overall at 2K, 4K, 8K, I had no issues at all. The mouse feels fantastic and definitely is another great product in Pulsar's lineup. Anybody looking for a lighter X2 Mini, you will have a great product here if it matches the build quality in front of me when it arrives at your doorstep. I want to talk about the Pulsar Hyperion. This is a collab they have with Lethal Gaming Gear. I love this pad. If anybody is looking for something that is a alternative to a Saturn Pro, if you're looking for an alternative to a Artisan Zero, I've already spoken about this pad a little bit. To me, it feels like a softer Artisan Zero. The control factor is right there in terms of speed with an Artisan Zero. The sizes do come in bigger sizes than Artisan. This coming in at 500 by 500, what you see here on my desk. It does still pick up some dust and hairs a little bit, and I do feel the blue is a little bit better than the black in that regard. In X-Soft, this pad just feels so comfortable, and the foam does rebound, I think, a little bit faster even than Artisan, but really nice pour-on foam here that really does feel like a rival to the quality of Artisan. Stitching's fantastic, and you guys can see that base there. Just really high quality from Lethal Gaming Gear and Pulsar. If anybody was looking for an alternative to something like a Zero, I think you have it here. And again, if you wanted it to be, in my opinion, what feels a little bit more consistent between X and Y, and something that feels a little bit more comfortable in terms of the texture on the skin, you've got it here. But again, think Artisan Zero in terms of overall speed. So Pulsar is definitely coming out with some really great products already and starting 2025 strong. Hopefully it gets more momentum going towards the end of the year. Hopefully we see a lot of really cool stuff from Pulsar, and my suspicion is that we will. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel. See you guys in the next review. Peace.